DraftKings Sportsbook has released odds for Wooden Award winner for next season, and it's very interesting to say the least. I think there's some good value plays here. We are going to do a full Bleacher Report room that you can go back in the BR app and listen to our full thoughts on like value bets and how we would approach this. But the main thing I want to talk about on the channel for today is it's just suddenly official here. Purdue has the favorite to win the Wooden Award next year in Braden Smith. 6-1 is Braden, and that is the shortest odds of any player in all of college basketball. Not only do they have the favorite, they have the fifth favorite as well. They have two players in the top five most likely to win the Wooden Award. You'd be hard pressed. I don't know the last time this would have happened, Cart. I was thinking on this. Obviously, you can't really get historical betting data like that, but like, I don't know the last time that a team in the preseason would have had two of the top five individual favorites to bet to win the Wooden Award. I don't even think the Zion RJ Barrett team would have. Because
That's the only team. That's the only team I can think of that would.
But it's freshmen don't normally pop off like this. And we can speak to the odds with this year's freshmen even like that. Like it's usually vets. And to see two of the top five together, both from Purdue, it's all of a sudden feeling very real about what this season is about to be for Purdue for me. I'll run through some of the player specific odds at the top and then we can talk about our individual thoughts. But Braden Smith 6-1, the favorite. JT Toppin plus 750, the second most likely. You might be surprised by this. Yaxel Lendorg is the third most likely Wooden Award winner next year at 10-1 odds with Michigan. AJ DeBonsa fourth at 15-1. Trey Kaufman-Renn fifth, 18-1. Darren Peterson at Kansas 20-1, sixth. From there we get into Darion Williams, Otega Owe, Solo Ball, Donovan Dent, Boogie Flan, Richie Saunders to close out the top 12. Anything beyond that is a long shot at best. I'll name a couple that just caught my eye on the long shot. And Tahad Pettiford, 35-1. Milos Uzan, 40-1. Isaiah Evans of Duke is 50-1. You will note Cam Boozer isn't even listed. I believe that's because he's not 18 years old yet. So at some point, you'd expect Cam Boozer to probably factor in around that 20-1 area, around where Darren Peterson is. Jeremy Fears is listed at 50-1. Ryan Conwell at Louisville is 60-1. We've got Fletcher Lawyer on the board, 100-1. That would probably be the worst bet in the history of sports betting if anyone's betting Fletcher Lawyer to win National Player of the Year, while two of his teammates are in the top five favorites in the country. What's your reaction first to the Purdue element of this? That they literally have two of the five most likely National Player of the Year award winners next season, and then the odds in general.
I mean, it makes sense when you look at like obviously what Braden Smith has done, him being the favorite. That makes a lot of sense. But also like TKR was a guy who, obviously Braden was the best player on the team, but TKR's stats were incredible last year. And, for him to possibly double that and maybe, I don't know, you bank on maybe Braden's numbers are the ones that take a step back given the rest of the talent on the team. I don't really know, but it makes a lot of sense to me when you look at it like those are two highly productive guys that are going to be on a top five team, a top, maybe the best team in the country. And that's, when you're looking at these odds, one of the good value plays that I saw that you mentioned. If Milos Uzan is the best player on a Houston team that's the best team in the country, there's a real world where he's National Player of the Year.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't you think the best team in the like it being the best team in the country factors into this? Like, you got to be up there.
Um, yeah, kind of. I think it's more about just how good these guys are individually, though. Like, I don't think go to my point. I don't think you go through previous years and like preseason number one had two top five guys. Like last year, Hunter Dickinson was probably top five on Kansas preseason number one, but like I don't think AJ Storr was a top five guy. DeJuan Harris wasn't a top five guy. You don't just get that just because you expect the team to be good. I think it speaks to the truth that like Braden Smith coming into the year is the best player in the country. We don't dispute that, obviously. We're big believers of him, but I think everybody is. And TKR, the words always get thrown around lately in debates, even in our Discord, but like he's an All-American level player. You can dispute some places named him an All-American last year. The actual people that give out All-American awards did not. Whatever. Bottom line is this. Last year he was a top 15 to 20 player in the country, and most of the guys ahead of him left the sport. So, like, he really is coming into this year. He's that good individually, too. The interesting part to me is with the Wooden Award, obviously, only one guy can win it, right? This isn't a bet of who's most likely to make All American teams. If it was, I would understand having two guys. One player has to win the Wooden Award. You can't split it. It goes to one guy, which is why it usually goes to guys that are just more, I don't know, kind of doing it on their own almost. And that's the interesting element here is preseason. I almost would have thought if the sports books are going to make Braden the favorite, then weirdly I would think TKR's odds get sort of dinged by that. Because if you're playing next to the favorite who's passing you the ball every time, racking up assists, it's just going to be hard for you to be like, what world do we end the season and we think TKR is more valuable than Braden? Is there a world? Like, what would that need to look like?
No, not a real one.
But is there a world where the public perception of who's giving out the Wooden Award is like, oh, TKR is the guy?
To be honest, no, I don't think there is one.
So that's where it's interesting for me because, like, if he, I have no issue saying he's the fifth best player in the country, but in terms of like winning the Wooden Award, that would be the hurdle he needs to leap, right? They would need to view him, everyone who covers this sport would need to view TKR as the guy on Purdue and not Braden Smith in order for this to happen. And I don't know how likely that is.
Yeah, and to your point, a lot of the buckets that TKR would get would be directly of like increasing Braden's stats.
Like, I think TKR would almost just need to like score more again. Like, what if TKR just scored like 28 a game next year?
See, it would have to be something like that though. And also at the same time, that would probably have Braden's assist at what?
10 plus at
12
least.
game.
But it could, I like, there's at least a world where that happens, right? Or like maybe voter fatigue. And like this year, just we all appreciate TKR more than we did Braden last year. I don't know. But
The world where TKR wins it is a world that we would have a conversation we wouldn't want to have.
you wouldn't want to have for sure.
No, like the scenario that would get him there is a conversation we don't want to talk about.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm
Sure.
talking about, right?
No, I don't think I do.
It would be that Purdue is like really, really good and Braden's out for some time because of like an injury or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to have that. That's
Yeah,
not going to happen. Most durable player in college hoops.
right.
Knock
So
on
like
wood.
so AKA it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, not going to happen. Yeah, so again, like two top five players, totally with it. The idea of him actually winning the Wooden Award is interesting to me. That makes it a tougher bet. Do you think there's value Braden 6-1? Like, would you bet that?
Yeah, I hate doing that because it's like, oh, you're picking the favorite, but like
Yeah.
at plus 600 for Braden Smith,
Yeah.
that's that's incredible to me.
This video is brought to you by NBA2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. We're gonna get to December, and I think that's gonna be a good odd. We can go through some of the others that we would actually bet here, but just to put a bow on the end of the Purdue side of this. Does this change the way you view the team at all? Just actually seeing it be official that they literally have two of the top five candidates in the sport for best player in the sport.
Does that automatically make them the number one team in the country?
It should, right? Like if it still is the Purdue versus Houston debate, but we are sitting here saying Houston doesn't have a top 12 player in the sport, and Purdue has two of the top five, what's the debate? That's how I feel looking at this. Like, and it's real, right? Line everybody on Purdue and everybody on Houston up, Ask Houston who they would take first. They would take Braden Smith. Ask them who they would take second. They would take TKR without hesitation. So they got to win elsewhere, and they might be very good. But I do think like just seeing it listed out like this is absurd to me. Like I got Yaxel in the top five. I'm like pumped. I got a superstar dog. What if I had two Yaxels? That's what Purdue's coming into the year with.
Yeah, and a little Fletcher sprinkled at the end there.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. Okay, now broadly, let's start with my guy. Yaxel is the third most likely player to win the Wooden Award per the sports books, 10-1. Your thoughts?
I mean, there's a world where Yaxel's numbers are absolutely incredible for Michigan, to where it gets to a point where the conversation will be real.
He is half the odds of Darren Peterson. He is more likely than AJ DeBonsa to win National Player of the Year. Do you think that Michigan is actually getting someone of that caliber?
I consider the guys that are in like this round to be like first team All American worthy. A lot of these guys. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I believe it too, I think. It's
yeah.
also a little
Also, when you're looking at Yaxel too, I think there's also like less likelihood that other people eat into his stats. Like I think Yaxel can do a lot for this Michigan team where it's like he'll fill up points, rebounds, assists, blocks. It'll be like at the end when you look at it, it's like he is doing so much. And if Michigan is good, like just him having those stats, I think it would make it an argument.
yeah, it could happen. I would like to say this is the first data point on why it was a benefit for Yaxel to come to Michigan, though. Like, dude, we're talking about the kid from UAB is now considered the third most likely Wooden Award winner because he's playing the Danny Wolf role. I don't know what that's going to do to his draft stock, but this wasn't going to happen last year. Like if he came back to UAB again, he wouldn't be the third most likely player here. Like his stock is already he's completely flipped in terms of how people are viewing him, I think. And I think it's fair. I really do. I think it's fair. He could be this good. He could also not be this good. But I think some Michigan fans aren't even I think fully fathoming the fact that that's what this guy's supposed to be. Like he is supposed to come in and be a bona fide first team All American. And
Yeah.
I don't think Michigan fans are fully viewing him that way. I'm starting to wrap my brain around it a little bit. What else jumps out at you from looking through this as maybe good value, mispriced, anything interesting from all of these?
I mean, the Houston guys, mainly Milos was one that stuck out to me immediately. I just think that, I think Houston's going to be a certified top two team all year. And if he's the best player on that team, I do think there's a world where he is the guy that ends up winning that award. And then second, as we were recording this, I placed an AJ DeBanza bet.
At 15.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I was staring Richie at 30-1 since I'm on the Richie Saunders train and you're on the AJ 15-1 train. Anything are you surprised Solo Ball is the first UConn name on the list?
A little bit. I thought, well, actually, I don't know. Maybe not. No.
Solo Ball priced as the ninth best player in the country. Caravan priced as like the 15th best player in the country.
I think I would flip those.
Okay. I can't really see a world where either of them win this award, but it was interesting to me to just feel that like Solo Ball is being projected to be the guy on that team.
We talk about the polar bear in Texas.
Who's that?
Why am I looking at DJ Wagner at 40-1
No comment.
over other Arkansas guards?
Yeah, no comment. No comment. It's a little strange. Otega Owe, Kentucky, the eighth best player, eighth most likely Wooden Award winner next year, 25-1. I think that's pretty good value if you believe in the Mark Pope offense.
I'm shocked. I thought Kentucky would have the most players on this list.
And you just won in Otega?
Yeah, it's like I mean they're so talented and so deep. I just thought that they would have more than
Well,
than
they
one
got
guy.
they got Jalen Lowe at
Oh,
200-1, way
is he
down.
on here? Okay.
Actually, Card, excuse me, more names have been added to this since I sent you screenshots last night. Card, breaking news: Jackson Kohler is 250-1 to win the Wooden Award next year.
So Michigan State has more players on the list than Michigan does.
It appears so. Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah, that is something.
We're here.
Yeah, that is something. Whoo! Speaking of that, Jeremy Fears 50-1.
Yeah. What about it?
Is it good value? Bad
I
value?
have I have DM me or reach out if you would like better ways to spend your money.
Tahad Pettiford 35-1. Can I interest you in that?
Yeah, you can interest me in anything with a Todd Pettiford bet because it's the likelihood that it's really fun. It's worth it in general.
All right, give me your five favorite bets to place based on the value of this list.
Braden at 600 is still incredible value to me. I think it's going to be like plus 200 by January, maybe even lower. Um, Milos is up there too. Did you look at Gillespie at all?
No.
I don't think I will. Okay, so the picks for me, Braden, Milos. Ooh. Debance is up there for me too. And then the other like longer shots. I think I go Boogie Fland for one. And then the last see, I wish I could get like a Michael Brown on here because there's not another Louisville player. I'll take Ryan Conwell.
Okay. Yeah, I like Conwell. I in general with Wooden Award, I don't like going the super, super long shot game. Like I'm trying to think throughout history how many of those types have actually won the Wooden Award. I feel like it's pretty rare. But if you are looking super, super long shot, just a couple I would name. You could talk me into Owen Freeman being Kalkbrenner, and he's 400-1. He's worse odds than Jackson Calder. Like you could convince me that Owen Freeman just is Ryan Kalkbrenner 2.0, maybe a little more talented. I talked about Nick Boyd. You could convince me Nick Boyd is John Tonji 2.0, 250-1 if you like that. Outside of that, I don't think there's any crazy long shots here. My five favorite in order would be I think Debanza 15-1 is the best value here. That's if he's just good, you're not going to get 15-1 again later in the season. I like Owe 25-1 is my second best value. I like Braden Smith 6-1 is my third best value. But if you believe Braden's going to win National Player of the Year, you should just bet it right now. I do see a world where him and TKR hurt each other in this though, and that's why he wouldn't be my best value. I think it's probably more likely those two make first team All American together than it is one of them wins National Player of the Year, even if Braden deserves it. I do not hate. I do not hate Donovan Dent 25-1 as a fourth for me. And then throw Yaxel 10-1 as my fifth favorite.
There's another one I don't absolutely hate. Are you peeking at JT Toppin at all?
No. Because I think if Texas Tech is good, it's because Christian Anderson breaks out.
I mean, it's a guy that averaged 18 and 9 last year with Darion Williams.
He's gonna get so much attention though. Like if I'm playing them, I'm just throwing three bodies at him every time.
Yeah, that's true.
He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's very good. But just saying those words, Wooden Award winner JT Toppin doesn't sound right to me.
It does to me.
Yeah, well, good value then. All right. Purdue's going to be really good, and there's value to be had.